We're going to cut for a little bit, and then we'll come back for the Bible teaching time. So hope you'll stay tuned for both. But I'm glad to see so many of you, many of our active duty and some that are former military personnel. I see Brother Russ has got a what would you call that? A classic uniform on, Russ? Class A. Is that? Yeah, I'm sure they had words for that. I'm sure that's what they did. Matter of fact, Marine, correct? That's your Army. All right, you did time in both, right? Yeah, one branch got tired of Russ, and they kicked him over to the other branch. Said, "You take him for a while." But I'm just curious, how many here this morning that served either currently or served some point in your life in the United States Army? Could you where's all the Army guys? All the Army guys, let's have all the Army guys stand up. All right, you guys stand up. All the Army guys. We got how many? We got 1, 2, 3. I know you drove Jeep. What did you do in the Army, Bobby? Combat engineer, really? I did not. Boy, you learn stuff all the time. I tell you what. And Russ, I know you served in Vietnam and did some Marine Corps. You did that. Okay. Desert Storm. All right. Keep your battles. All right. That's excellent. All right. Where's our Marines at? You might as well just stay standing. All right. And we got our Marines. How about anybody in the Navy? We got any Navy? All right. I know Doug Stanley's Navy. And then any Coast Guard folks here? We got any Coast Guard? And then where's our airmen? Where's all the airmen? They're all over the place. Let's give a round of applause to all of our military personnel. Woo! Did you guys like my fashionable D-Day shirt this morning? Yeah, our media person made these for us, and you can get one too. They're only $99.99 a piece. If you'd like to see her, she's in the back there. But I want to thank Allie for making these for me, and we got for some other people as well. Well, what we're going to do next is we have a representative here from the Red Cross that I met when Brother Don, of course, Brother Don is back there with his son Dean. Hello, Don. Hello, Dean. Let me say, before I get onto this, if you'd like to get a picture with Brother Don, is that okay after the service? If I think that's all right. We set up a little table back there. Sometimes folks would like to get a picture with him. I'd encourage you to do that. So at the end of the service, he'll be back there. But we're glad to have Brother Don here, of course. Yes. Yeah, be careful. Don't get too close to him, obviously for health reasons, but he's tough. He is tough. He's been in the hospital this week, and here he is. But I met Dr. Martha Simmons at the city of Millbrook, held a birthday party. Birthday party for Brother Don, and this wonderful lady organized all that. It was a fantastic time. We had representatives from all different places come, and our veterans, especially our World War II veterans, were losing very quickly. But Dr. Martha Simmons, she's been 16 years with the Red Cross, specializing in veteran affairs. She started in disaster relief. Her son is a Marine, served in the Marines for 27 years, and she said, she told me that she's been on every Marine military base around the world or in the stateside. I don't know. You've been around. You've been a Marine mom. That's a very special calling. So she wanted to share a few things about Brother Don's bio and some other things. So I'll have you, if you'd come this way. Let's give her a round of applause. She comes. Want to give her the yellow? How about this one? Is this mic on there, Stephen? Go testing 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Let me see. Got that one? There we go. There we go. There we go. Yep. There you go.
This is a special blessing for me to be here at Open Door Baptist Church and to be a part of the service honoring Dr. Hayhurst. I feel very comfortable here. I was reared in Wetumpka and was a member of First Baptist Church, and when I was 9 years old, I accepted Christ and was baptized there. So I feel very comfortable here today. I am a volunteer with the Red Cross, and I'm representing the Red Cross here today. One of the main missions of the Red Cross is serving America's military, both active duty and the veterans. And so it warms my heart and blesses me to encounter the veterans and to meet them and hear their stories. So today I'd like to talk just briefly about what D-Day means, and then I'm going to present a biographical sketch of Dr. Hayhurst, and I'll describe his early personal life and later life, and his military experiences, and I'll close with his exact quotations of what serving in the military has meant to him. During World War II, 1939 through 45, the Battle of Normandy, which lasted from June 1944 to August 1944, resulted in the Allied liberation of Western Europe from Nazi Germany's control. It was codenamed Operation Overlord. The battle began on June the 6th, 1944, 77 years ago. It was known as D-Day, when some 156,000 American, British, and Canadian forces landed on 5 beaches along a 50-mile stretch of the heavily fortified coast of France in the Normandy region. The invasion was one of the largest amphibious military assaults in history, and it required extensive planning. Prior to D-Day, the Allies conducted a large-scale deception campaign designed to mislead the Germans about the intended invasion target. By late August 1944, all of northern France had been liberated, and by the following spring, the Allies had defeated the Germans. The Normandy landings had been called the beginning of the end of the war in Europe. I looked up some information about how many of the Allied military personnel lost their lives in this battle. Battle on D-Day, 10,000. This does not include the wounded. The Battle of the Rhineland, 23,000, and the Battle of the Bulge, 19,000. As a child growing up in Wetumpka, and I'm now 82, and I remember this of May and August of 1945, we heard on the radio that the war had ended in Europe in May, and the church bells rang out in Wetumpka, and we went to the churches and had prayers of thanksgiving. The same thing happened in August when we heard on the radio that the Japanese had surrendered. So as a child, those things stuck in my memory. Today, I would like to describe the life of our honoree today. He is truly a hero. How miraculous that he was not even wounded seriously, and that he lived and achieved so much, and we are blessed that we know him. So I'd like to talk to you about his life now. Dr. Hayhurst landed on Omaha Beach with a U.S. Army tank recovery unit about 10 days after the initial landing and invasion of the Allies. Although his unit was supposed to land on June 18th and then convoy across the country, the waves were coming in, making it just too tough to get ashore immediately. Dr. Hayhurst and his men finally made it. He received 5 Battle Service Stars for his participation in combat, including Normandy, the Battle of the Bulge, and the Rhineland. He also continued fighting until the war was over. He received the French Legion of Honor for United States veteran for his heroic participation, risking his life in the liberation of France. During his service in World War II, Hayhurst's rank was platoon sergeant. However, he received a battlefield commission at the end of World War II with the rank of first lieutenant. Later, Hayhurst was recalled and served in the Korean War. Hayhurst grew up in the hills of West Virginia during the Great Depression, and when he reached his 18th birthday, he was drafted to serve in the Army and sent to Europe, the other side of the world. When he returned to the U.S. after the war, Hayhurst earned his Ph.D. in political science at the University of Pittsburgh, and then at Auburn University, he helped create the Department of Political Science, where he taught with the rank of full professor. While teaching there, he used and applied his knowledge of political science by being elected and serving as mayor of Auburn for 4 years. Under his leadership at Auburn, he obtained a $600,000 federal grant for urban renewal used to improve the streets of downtown Auburn. A marker for this project can be observed at that famous Toomer's Corner at Auburn. While attending an event at Auburn University, he bumped into a former student, Alec Moore, and he made an offer he just couldn't turn down. The student said, "Would you like to go to Normandy again?" Hayhurst replied, "Yes, I always wanted to see that area again. I have thought about it for a long time and have just never done anything about it." "However," Hayhurst replied, "I can carry my own weight. I did it when I came on shore at Normandy, and I can do it now." In November 2018, Hayhurst and his former student flew to Europe, to France, and toured the 5 landing sites, and they flew back also to the U.S. And they were moved to first-class seats on the return flight when the flight crew discovered that Hayhurst, who was wearing his World War II hat, had served in Europe during World War II. The pilot on the return flight made an announcement recognizing that the flight had a World War II veteran aboard. This return to Normandy meant much to Don, and this is what he said about it, quote, "It means so much to your life. You ought to have an opportunity to re-examine it. It's like the idea of completing something in your life. You want to have a postscript or a final assessment of it," end of quote. At the Normandy American Cemetery, where 9,400 American military are buried, he probably answered more questions than the tour guides, and he shared something most people could not. He had been there and seen all the bodies. However, Hayhurst had survived. Hayhurst said that the sand that he had run across with military boots meant something to him. In fact, he brought some of the sand home from him from Omaha Beach. Don and his wife, Joyce, were married 17 years. Joyce was reared in poverty. She trained as an RN and served as a surgical nurse for 30 years. At Millbrook, she had a special place in her heart for the library's youth reading program at the Millbrook Public Library. And she and Don donated $5,000 to the library in honor of her memory. And Joyce were members of the Open Door Baptist Church and had participated in the Millbrook Senior Center. And now, in closing, I'd like to quote what he said about what serving in the military has meant to him. "I've been so blessed and protected so many times that I've been embarrassed to complain about anything. I have been blessed more than I ever deserved. I was always a competitor. I always wanted to be the best at whatever I did. That's what I tell young people today, which is if you want to succeed in life, you have to compete. You have to get in there and work harder than everyone else. That's why education is so important. It gave my life and me the opportunity to succeed and make that hard work pay off." End of quote. Dr. Hayhurst, I salute you. Thank you for your service to our country, on behalf of a grateful nation, on behalf of the American Red Cross, and from me, a Marine mother. Thank you.
Amen. All right. At this time, we got a couple things that we want to present to Brother Don on behalf of the church. So I was going to have Jenny bring Brother Don down this way. Oscar, which side do you want him over here? This side over here, probably easier. Okay. As he makes his way, the first thing we got Brother Don was we got him. I'm staying up here so the online folks can see easier, but we got him his own shirt. I mean, if I have one, he should have one, except his says D-Day Veteran on it. And on the back side, it says D-Day Veteran, I landed on Omaha Beach 77 years ago. So we have Don. First off, Don, we have you your own T-shirt. Look at that. Look at that. You take this one. We got that for you. Then Jen and I were out of town a couple weeks ago, and we found this beautifully decorative, I don't know what this is called, plaque. I don't know what this is. But I thought it was really, really neat the way it was designed, and it has the U.S. Army retired on it. And on the back it says, presented to Don Hayhurst on D-Day Sunday, June 6th, 2021 from Open Door Baptist Church. So, Brother Don, we got you one of these as well. I've put that we can hang up at the house. Okay? Let me give you one more thing here. I'll give this to Jen. Not that I think Don would forget, but what we did is we went and got a map of the D-Day landings, a really nice map, and had it framed, and with all the different breakdowns of where everybody came ashore. Of course, Brother Don was with the U.S. First Army, and he was also part of, you can see the breakdown in his insignia where he would have been, and a map of the area. So it's really beautiful, and we thought he'd enjoy having that. Then on the back side, again, we wrote that it was presented on behalf of the church, and we wanted to present this to Don as well. What do you think about this, Don? Look at this one. What do you think about that? You know, there was you, right about there, right?
That's Morgan,
Yeah, is that where it is? Looking good?
It's going to be farther down the Rhine.
I think it's over there. Yeah, you went all the way to the Rhine. I don't think I got the Rhine on there. I think it only has Normandy, and I think St. Lo might be in there. I think it's on there somewhere. But Brother Don's medal is on the back table back there as well, his French Legion of Honor medal, if you'd like to see that. And so let's give Don a round of applause. Yes, look at all the folks.
Just before the remodeling church fell.
Look at all the people standing up for you. Yeah, that's fantastic. All right. At this time, he'll be back there. We're going to jump back on our regular part of our service, which is what are we doing from here, Brother Joe? I've lost my train of thought. I think we're going to sing or something, aren't we? Then we're going to have fellowship time, and then we have another opportunity to get a hold of him after the service. And if you're online, we're going to come back here in a little bit. So thank you for tuning in for this portion of the service. All right, Brother Joe.